My name is Jordan Hutchinson, and I'm a pro bodybuilder. What I'm seeing is
What exactly does being a pro bodybuilder, what does that entail?
entails a lot of consistency, a lot of years in the grind, a lot of years with a dream. It starts out, I believe, with a love for training. These guys that are super successful bodybuilders, but those guys all started with just a passion for the gym. I'm 12 years into this, so it's taken me quite some time. Yeah, so this is like my check-in setup. I've got a backdrop and I set up my phone for my pictures. Sometimes I do video. I'll probably do a video today too, just to get like the animated muscles, see everything moving. My coach likes that. And then I have this light. Everybody asks me about this light. Just one of my buddies that used to do interviews gave it to me, and it works perfect for consistent lighting. So like I don't have any natural light coming in. So whether it's cloudy or not, I get the same lighting every single time for assessment on my pictures. I set a mirror up across the room, across the garage, so I can watch my posing. And then I take photos from my Apple Watch. I see a lot of people using like the Bluetooth clickers, but I like to use my Apple Watch. I can see myself on here through the phone to make sure I'm hitting my poses right. And this is the first thing I do after I weigh in. I just had a high day yesterday, and my weight shot up like 6 pounds. So
how big was the high day?
It was pretty big. It was like 5,100 calories, almost 800 grams of carbs, 110 grams of fat. My last meal was 150 grams of sirloin, 420 grams of rice, and 40 grams of butter. So a lot of fats to make the food stick. And I woke up looking pretty crazy, but we'll see how dry the look is. Yeah, I'm a lot fuller today. I was really flat yesterday.
Like right now, do you change daily? Like what?
Yeah, so like my meals today are gonna be determined on this check-in. So, we were probably gonna run another high, but considering my weight, I doubt that he will. We don't usually get a jump like that, but I think I was so depleted, so fatigued. And I think the food really washed the fatigue off a lot. So, and I filled out a lot. Like I feel full. Yesterday I woke up, I felt flat, dry, depleted. When you pose and you're flat, you're like, you don't feel the muscle moving, contracting. You can't feel it well. You feel like awkward hitting your poses. Right now I just feel like really, really full. It's kind of a day-to-day thing at this point, being a pro. Like you have to make those short-term decisions because every day counts when you're just a few weeks out. So I like to do my ab vacuums in the morning after I hit my check-in, if I check in that morning. But on an empty stomach is the best time to do ab vacuums. I mean, like even on my low days, my low calorie days, I'm still eating enough food and drinking 6 liters of water a day. So it's going to be harder to pull a stomach vacuum as tight. And I want to be able to have as much waist control on stage as possible in my poses and be able to breathe through the poses without letting my stomach come out. At 270 pounds, it's difficult. Like, I don't care about all the comments online. These kids that are like 150 pounds are like, oh my gosh, you're getting a bubble gut. It's not that, it's we have to eat a lot of food, we have to drink a lot of water. There's a lot that distends, but by show day, and when you're on your low days and when you're able to suck down and pull in, you should be able to control this. That's why you'll see some bodybuilders that are doing guest posings and stuff. It'll look like they're a little distended. It's like they didn't peak for the guest posing. They're eating their normal food, and it's part of it. But the ab vacuums really help to pin that stomach to the spine. So what I like to do is lean up against something like the sink, and I'm going to do generally at least 3 rounds, whatever I have time for, maybe 5 rounds in the morning. And you're just going to breathe all your air out, hold it out, then suck your belly button to your spine. I usually do 10 to 15 seconds depending on what I have the breath for. Some mornings are better than others. So so that's 1 round. You're gonna be out of breath because you just held your breath out. It's much harder than holding your breath in. A lot of people will try to do an ab vacuum, they'll blow out, and then at the very last minute after going, they'll do, and you can't let that air back in. You have to leave all the air out of your lungs so you can really produce that vacuum. So catch my breath a little bit and go for another. It's not the most fun thing to do, but it's the disciplined thing to do. I've been bad about this in past preps where I wake up and I'm like, I'm way too tired, I'm way too hungry, there's way too much to do. I'll do it later. And it doesn't happen later. It really has to happen in the morning because, like I said, you can't pull these vacuums as hard later in the day. The biggest thing is you got to figure out what works and then repeat it week after week. So I've been doing the same schedule for the entire prep and really the same schedule prior to prep. So, and it's the same day every day, day after day. That's what bodybuilding is once you find that groove, you stay in that groove and you don't leave it. So I do cardio year round. I track my steps year round, not just prep. So this walk is kind of like my fasted cardio. I don't do fasted cardio. I notice it causes me to fatigue really bad in my training if I've done cardio first thing in the morning fasted, really hard cardio. And I feel better and more efficient and get my heart rate up higher when I do my cardio post-workout later in the afternoon. So that's how I run things. If my cardio gets so high that I have to split it into 2 sessions, then I will separate the cardio, but I still probably won't do it fasted. I'll just eat a meal, wait a couple hours, go hit my cardio to where I'm a little more fasted. But I just like to start my daily movement. I get like 3,000 to 4,000 steps on this walk with Samson. Get to be outside. Usually I'll have my headphones on. I like to start my day off right. I usually listen to my Bible or a devotional. Faith is really a big part of what I do. It keeps me grounded. It's the purpose of my life. So that's how I like to start my day every day and be outside. It's beautiful right now. It's not too hot yet. It's nice to get out, some fresh air, recenter my mind, and get that daily movement going. And then I won't have to get so many steps later in the day. So I'm getting ready for Texas Pro. It's in 3.5 weeks. I actually decided to do this prep about 17 weeks out. I was on the fence about competing this year. I had a lot of travel. I had a surgery after last season, and I didn't really get to start my off season until maybe December after last show season, which ended in August. And I didn't think I was gonna make enough progress to be able to compete at a high level this year. And surprisingly, we were efficient enough with the time. My body was more fresh after some extra time off because I've never taken more than a week off from the gym, hardly at all, during my entire time competing. And I was kind of forced to take 4 weeks off. And I think that rest really allowed me to let my body rest and recover fully and be a lot fresher for the off season. And we ended up putting on at least 15 pounds from last year's Texas Pro. So really excited for Texas Pro this year, made a lot of improvements, a lot more size added to my frame. And we knew to be competitive and be possibly competitive in the Olympia, we had to be 260 plus, 265 plus on stage, which is what we achieved since last year. I was 249 on stage last Texas Pro. So making some major strides.
Start thinking about food now.
Yeah, dude, I'm hungry. I'm ready for this meal one. It's gonna be so good. I literally think about meal one as I'm making my last meal of the day, the night prior. This sport is all about longevity. So like, if you can't sustain something that you enjoy, you're not going to want to do it. If you choose the food sources that you like, you're going to enjoy your diet more. You're going to be able to sustain that diet and not feel like you need to go off the rails, especially in the off season when there's no show in sight. This is my biggest supporter. She helps me so much. I couldn't do what I do without her. She is the reason I'm competing this year, because I was gonna take this year off, and then she's like, honestly, this is what she said, and she said it in the most loving way possible. Honestly, you'd be really dumb not to do Texas Pro, because it's right here, and I was like, if you're saying that, I'm gonna do it. So do you believe in me? She believes in me more than I believe in myself sometimes, and it means a lot. So I love her like crazy. All right, so the first round of waffles is done.
How many do you make? 2?
So 2 rounds of this.
Oh, okay.
So as long as you sprayed it, and I don't wash this because you don't want to like wash all the oils off. I'll like clean it every now and then, but you don't want to like wash and scrub it because it's going to take that non-stick off. You see how easy that pulled off. So I look forward to every single meal I eat, whether I'm in off season or prep. So when my carbs get to 1,000 grams of carbs, because I put effort into my food tasting really good, I really look forward to it. I use sauces, I use spices, I use seasonings. I see so many guys, they post their meals, or some of my clients will send me their meals, and it's just like rice, broccoli, and a chunk of chicken. It doesn't look like they seasoned it. It doesn't look like they put any effort. And I'm like, that does not look appetizing. I wouldn't want to eat that. So like, put some effort in and you'll probably enjoy your diet more. And then why do I need to go to McDonald's? Because I'm craving food. You know, I don't crave food as much because I enjoy my food. It's like just as good every morning. All right, so this is where the magic happens. This is where I work. I work remote as an online coach. So this is my desk, do my content and my coaching stuff. But I'm motivated by the things that I've been able to set up in here. Brittany's actually helped me set this up to where it looks nice. Got the pro card on the wall, got my trophies and medals. Yes, you want the win. Yes, you want the success. The trophies are great memories, but the real win is being better than you were last time, being better every day than you were yesterday, and the mental, physical, and spiritual improvements on your life are the real trophies, in my opinion. All right, man, so I figured I'd send you a voice note. So what I'm seeing is I compared this look to July 3rd, the last time you sent me a check-in at 160.5, the same exact weight. And you are harder and fuller, 100%, like, especially in your arms and shoulders. The first thing I do between meal 1 and 2 is start my client check-ins. As a pro, you know, we've got to be able to monetize what we do. And obviously, having 12 years of hard training and pushing for bodybuilding under my belt, I've learned a lot. I've learned what to do. I've learned what not to do. I can teach clients how to avoid pitfalls. So a lot of us pros will coach, and it's just something that I'm passionate about. Some people do it just for the money. Obviously, I have to put food on the table, so I have to charge people. That's part of it, and I really enjoy being able to do that for a living. But I keep a moderate amount of clients just so that I'm not overworked and that I can get back to people in a decent amount of time. So I always try to knock out my check-ins, get everybody answered before meal 2. Get meal 2, then I'll finish all my updates and stuff before I go to the gym later. I try to get all my work knocked out in the mornings. And then, I'll also work on like content stuff. This morning I posted a YouTube video. So all morning I'm kind of going back and forth between dealing with my client check-ins, catching up on whoever I've got to catch up on with my coach, messages on WhatsApp, talking with athlete managers, sponsorship stuff, whatever they need, my own content. And if steps are high, getting steps in between. But luckily at this stage in prep, I don't have to get tons of steps in. So I would say early on, the expenses are much more, where you do have to spend more money. I spent plenty of years where I was going to Costco, bulk buying chicken, bulk buying steak, and spending tons of money on groceries where I knew I didn't imagine I'd have a meal prep sponsor by now. But basically, I feel like if you really want to get there one day, you have to invest early on and really, really put the time into making a pro level physique, increasing your social media presence so that when you get to that point, you have more opportunities. So from an entrepreneurial standpoint, I save money on supplements, on my food, and then I have salary sponsors. Thank God that they take care of me in return for what I do via social media. So I hate the word influencer. I don't like to say I'm an influencer. I'm not necessarily an influencer, but as a pro bodybuilder in 2025, you kind of have to be an influencer to some extent. I have to be on YouTube. I have to be on Instagram. So people that use my codes for these companies, they support me, and I appreciate them more than they know. And that's how you monetize bodybuilding.
How much time do you think you spend in the kitchen every day?
A lot. I listen to, if I'm not in my office, I'm here. It's just the way it is. A lot of people look at what I do and they're like, oh, well, you get to work from home, so you can eat all your meals on the stove and stuff like that. And yeah, that's true, but I worked really hard to get to this point where like I was working a sales job, having to blast out sales as quick as I could, then get back to the break room to slam down my meal, packed all my meals, packed my pre-workout meal, my pre-workout shakes, all that stuff, to rush to the gym as soon as I got off work, to rush home, to rush into bed. I mean, that was my lifestyle for a long time. So I paid my dues to get here. I generally do my health supplements with meal 2. So these are a few of the ones that I take no matter what you're doing. You should take omegas, NAC, vitamin D, and curcumin, which I take at night. Curcumin is great as well.
Go, give it to me, let's go. I'll say when.
I would say surprisingly, what's happened this prep, which sometimes it just doesn't make sense, my performance has been incredible. One of the things that happens when you get to this size is mobility issues in the off season and not being able to get full range of motion on certain muscle groups because they're tight, they're full of water, full of inflammation from being so heavy. So when I get down to a lower body weight, sometimes I'm more efficient in the gym. I may be depleted and more tired, not have quite as much energy, but overall my training hasn't suffered as much this prep, and I think that's a learning curve of learning how to manage recovery with training volume and training intensity and find that balance. So I would say yes, I do perform better and I'm a lot stronger in the off season as a generality. But this prep, unlike past preps, I've learned my body more and more to where I can be more efficient and perform better throughout the prep. I will always love training. If I wasn't on stage, I would still be training like I do now. I just may not be living the lifestyle quite as rigid, but I would still be training the same way because I love it.
One, all the way, all the way, up, slow. Yes. Come on, one more, come on.
Is it weird training with someone you're able?
No, we're not really in the same league. Like, we're trying to get Jordan to win. Like me, I'm going to compete. This is my rookie year. But I told him next year, I'm coming for him. We're gonna be training together, but there's gonna be a little bit more rivalry.
Since it's just you on stage, is it just you that does all the work?
No, not at all. I could not do that without my wife. She supports me in so many ways, mentally, spiritually, physically. She picks me up where there's those days where I'm like about to fall apart just every time I sit down because I just have no energy, depleted, tired. She's my biggest teammate. My training partner, Justin, he's been absolutely amazing. It's the best prep training I've had thus far. Some of my other training partners, Brandon, Elias, all the people at Destination Dallas, the Gasp family that's around me, all my sponsors that support me. I mean, I've truly got some incredible people in my corner, but the biggest thing is my coach, Chris Tuttle, as far as like bodybuilding specifically goes. We've been together for 5.5 years. I've worked with him since 2020. He turned me pro, and that guy just gives me every ounce of his energy, and he's only ever wanted the best for me. And so we just work so well together. He's the best coach I could possibly ask for, and I will finish my career with him if he continues to coach me that long, because we've just been rolling together, cares about my health, cares about my well-being. So it's a team. It doesn't just take me. It takes a team, and it takes the right team. Because I know plenty of people that try to do this bodybuilding thing, and all it takes is one bad coach, one bad relationship, one bad business situation, and their prep falls apart. And I'm just blessed and thankful that God allowed me, the people in my life, to support me and take care of me and see the vision and see the dream and believe in me.
No. I got more. Go again. Go. Give it to me. Let's go. Work. Yep.
The goal is always to win. Last year, the goal was to win a pro show. I got 5th at Chicago, 3rd at Tampa Pro, and I got 2nd at Texas Pro, but the goal is to win Texas Pro this year and go to the Olympia in October. So, and I would really love to make a statement at the Olympia. That's my goal. If God wills it to be, if it's his plan, he'll allow it to happen. But that is for sure my goal, to make it to the Olympia stage this year in 2025.